Welcome students. Start with the next class which is the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. In that example is acetazolamide sodium, dichlorphenamide, methazolamide. This acetazolamide inhibits the enzyme which is a carbonic anhydrase in proximal tubule epithelial cells, and these carbonic anhydrase inhibitors are more often used for their other pharmacological action rather than their diuretic effect because they are much less efficacious than the thiazides or the loop diuretics. Or these carbonic anhydrase inhibitors have a limited use as a diuretics. Next one is the site and mode of action. This acetazolamide inhibit the carbonic anhydrase located intracellularly, it means the cytoplasm, and on the apical membrane of the proximal tubule epithelium. They decrease the ability of exchange of sodium for hydrogen in the presence of acetazolamide, resulting in the mild diuresis. Additionally, this bicarbonate is retained in the lumen with marked elevation in the urinary pH. The loss of the bicarbonate causes hypercholoremic metabolic acidosis and decreased diuretic efficacy following the several days of the therapy. Changes in the composition of urinary electrolyte induced by the acetazolamide in that phosphate excretion is increased by the unknown mechanism. Now it means the carbonic anhydrase influence the tubular reabsorption of the sodium by the two sites. First is the proximal tubule. In that the proximal tubule, the bicarbonate absorption occurs, and distal tubules, where the sodium is exchanged with the potassium or the hydrogen ion and bicarbonate is formed as a accompanying anion. Okay, it means these carbonic anhydrase, they are the reabsorption is at the two sites. First site is the proximal tubule. In that the proximal tubule, there is the bicarbonate absorption get occurs. And in distal tubule, there is the sodium is exchanged with the potassium or the hydrogen ions and the bicarbonate is get formed. Okay. Now next one is the hydration of the carbon dioxide takes place. Now hydration of the carbon dioxide takes place under the influence of the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor or the carbonic anhydrase to form the carbonic acid. To form the carbonic acid which dissociate to give the hydrogen and the bicarbonate ion. Now see in the diagram. Okay, the hydration of the carbon dioxide. Okay, this hydration of the carbon dioxide in the presence of the carbonic anhydrase. Okay, the presence of the carbonic anhydrase, they forms the carbonic acid. Okay, and after that this carbonic acid dissociate to gives the hydrogen and the bicarbonate. Okay, in relation to the tubular cells, the carbonic anhydrase helps to produce the hydrogen ions, okay, which are secreted into the tubules in exchange for the sodium ions. Okay, this hydrogen gets exchanged with the sodium ions. The sodium hydrogen ion exchange takes place almost all along the length of the renal tubule and normally is responsible for the formation of the acid urine. While the stores of the bicarbonate along with the sodium. Now these are the reaction in that the hydration of the carbon dioxide get occur and they forms the carbonic acid in the presence of the carbonic anhydrase, and this carbonic anhydrase dissociation form the hydrogen and the bicarbonate. Okay, and this carbonic anhydrase help to produce the hydrogen ions which are secreted into the tubules in exchange of the sodium ions. This secreted hydrogen which exchange the sodium ions, and this hydrogen ion exchange takes place almost all along the length of the renal and they forms the acid urine. They forms the acid urine. These are the mode of action. Next one is the therapeutic uses. In that the therapeutic uses the treatment of the glaucoma. The almost common use of the acetazolamide is to reduce the elevated intraocular pressure of the open angle glaucoma. All of you know what is meant by the glaucoma. Glaucoma is the increase the intraocular pressure. Okay, and the most common use of acetazolamide is to reduce the elevated or increase the intraocular pressure. This acetazolamide decreases the production of the aqueous humor, probably by blocking carbonic anhydrase in the ciliary body of the eye. And it is useful in the chronic treatment of glaucoma but should not be used for an acute attack. Again, this pilocarpine is preferred for the acute attack because of its immediate action. This pilocarpine gives the immediate action, that's why it is preferred for the acute attack. Now, topical carbonic anhydrase inhibitor such as the dorzolamide and the brinzolamide have the advantage of not causing any systemic effects. Now, next one is the mountain sickness. Less commonly, this acetazolamide can be used in the prophylaxis of acute mountain sickness among the healthy physically active individuals who rapidly ascend above the 10,000 feet. Again, this acetazolamide given nightly for 5 days before the ascent prevents the weakness, breathlessness, dizziness, nausea and cerebral as well as the pulmonary edema characterized by the syndrome. Again, there is a therapeutic uses for the petit mal epilepsy, premenstrual tension, again the migraine, again the acne. These are the therapeutic uses of the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. Next one is the pharmacokinetics. Acetazolamide is given orally once to 4 times daily and it is secreted by the proximal tube. Next one is the adverse effect: metabolic acidosis, potassium depletion, renal stone formation, drowsiness, paresthesia may occur. Again, the drug should be avoided in patients with the hepatic cirrhosis because it could lead to decrease the excretion of the nitrate, hypersensitivity reaction, granulocytes, and the goiterogenic effect. These are the adverse effects. These are the totally of the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. In that the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, there is increase the sodium, potassium and bicarbonate level and as well as the volume of the urine. Okay, these are total of the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor.